Hello, good morning. It is Morning Coffee with Steve, episode 227 for Tuesday, November 26, 2024. I'm Steve Saylor. This is your daily show of gaming news, accessibility news, or updates about my life. I have my iced coffee in my PlayStation mug today. I actually did a little bit something different. So I did a little bit of grocery shopping, and there was like a sale on chocolate milk. And here's the thing about me and chocolate milk. It doesn't really sit well in my stomach at all. However, I did find lactose-free chocolate milk. I was like, I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, but there are definitely like some aspects of dairy that I just can't, like, it just doesn't sit well in my, it's not like it just, I don't know, it just feels weird in my stomach. I'm like, I don't like it. So it just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. So essentially, but chocolate milk is kind of like one of those. It just never really sat well in my stomach as an adult. However, I figured I'd try, see if maybe lactose-free chocolate milk actually might do the trick. And I decided to pour that in my coffee instead of just milk. Just that little bit of chocolate in there actually kind of works. I kind of don't mind it. Throw in maybe a peppermint stick in there. I can make my own little peppermint mocha coffee, iced coffee. Ooh, I think I might do that. I'm already in the Christmas spirit, y'all. I'm just it's not even December yet, and I'm already in it. So I know some of y'all in the States are basically just about to celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'm already in Christmas mode, man. This is great. All right, I'm gonna jump into today's news because we kind of got one story that I wanted to go over quite a bit. And then there's two other stories that I wanted to talk about. But we actually have some pretty big accessibility news. Some of which I'm kind of involved with, but bear with me. It's something I'm very proud of to be able to talk about. Is that the Game Accessibility Conference, if you don't know, is a conference that happens twice a year, one in Europe, one in North America. And essentially, it's an opportunity for studios and developers to be able to get together and learn more about accessibility and kind of commiserate with other accessibility advocates, consultants, or folks who work in accessibility, or studios who are interested in learning more about accessibility. They can be able to talk to other accessibility advocates. It's a really great conference. I've been at it, I've spoken at it several times. Mostly virtually over the course of the past few years since the pandemic, but I did speak at it once in 2018, 2019, I think, somewhere in there, and that is actually how I got introduced to folks at Naughty Dog, who allowed me to be able to work on The Last of Us a little bit. So they decided a couple years ago to create their own game awards. Specifically for accessibility, and kind of focus in on the topics and the games that do extremely well over accessibility over many different types of categories. And I have been honored to be asked to host the basically since the beginning of it. So actually, wait, no, I think it did. I don't think I did 1 year. I can't remember if I did if it was Tara Volker who did the first year, hosted the first year, and then I did the few years after. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's been a haze, pandemic brain, essentially. But I've been honored to be able to be asked to host, and I'm hosting again this year. And the nominees just went out for the GAConf Awards. I've got it up here. Don't mind the banner of me. Anyway, welcome back for another edition of the GAConf Awards. Once again, recognizing and celebrating the efforts of people across and around game development to raise the bar for accessibility. This year, we have 19 categories shortlisted by an expert panel, with winners decided on by a combination of public and jury vote during the week of November 25th to December 1st. The winners of the GAConf Awards were revealed in January by the I didn't write this. Inimitable Steve Saylor, together with a host of special guests. You'll be able to watch the full ceremony on the IGDA GA-SIG YouTube channel with audio descriptions, ASL, BSL, and full captions. And I'll put a link into to this specific page that has a link to be able to vote for the nominees for each category. I'm going to go through them all. I'm not going to be able to explain. They have a descriptor as to why each of these games were nominated. But I wanted to, I'll kind of touch on a few of them as I go, just to kind of explain a few things, if for those who may not know why what this category is, or what these games kind of represent within that category. So first off is kind of the big one, which is sort of not necessarily game of the year. We kind of separate it to a certain degree. So there's first of two for game of the year, essentially, is AAA Excellence. We have Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Life is Strange Double Exposure. Now this kind of mimics a little bit of the Game Awards nominees, except it's instead of Diablo 4, it is actually Life is Strange Double Exposure. So I'll explain why Life is Strange got added in for AAA Excellence. Highlights include content warning pause with optional warnings across a wide range of triggering content, and also warnings for sudden brightness or volume changes, longer choice times, a major choice confirmation, camera assist, simple power effects, hot spot pinging, which is actually pretty good. Life is Strange has always been kind of like pushing for more cognitive accessibility. I think they're very good at cognitive accessibility. So those are the nominees for AAA Excellence. Now we have also one for Indie Excellence. This is the second part of the sort of the Game of the Year kind of category. We got Periphery Synthetic, which is a blind first audio game. Another Crab's Treasure, which if you've been on my channel, you probably know about that's basically kind of the most accessible Souls-like game. Botany Manor, Pine Hearts, and Plucky Squire. I like these nominees. It's basically, Indie Excellence is accessibility in a game made on a small budget by a small team. That's how we kind of label it as that. Then we got Best Deaf and Hard of Hearing Accessibility. We've got Skull and Bones, Spider-Man 2 Caption Update, Star Wars Outlaws, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I want to be able to mention in regards to Spider-Man 2 Caption Update. So these are also up, like, these are similar to the Game Awards. We actually include anytime that there's a game that gets updated with accessibility, especially one that put a significant effort into updating their accessibility. We kind of, and if it happened within the year that the GAConf Awards happens, they also get nominated. So the Spider-Man 2 Caption Update, which captions for non-dialogue sounds and cutscenes, including names of songs and artists for music, which is really, really great. We get, I'm tempted to read the description for all of these as to why they are nominated, but I think probably what's best is, especially if you're listening to the audio version, go to the link into the show notes and just you can take a look at each game that's listed there has a description as to why they were nominated in that category. Just to kind of cover what I, because if I was sitting here reading this, it would take me about an hour to be able to read the whole thing. But there's 19 categories, so bear with me. We got Best Motor / Mobility Accessibility. We've got Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Soundtown, Just Dance 2025, Star Wars Outlaws, and Call of Duty Black Ops 6. By the way, I should probably also mention, even though I am a host, I am not responsible for the nominations. I do vote in the nominees, so I do get to suggest nominees, but I am not allowed to suggest anything I worked on. That is a very big thing for us, because a lot of us are all working within the industry, and a lot of us work on games that we would not be able to nominate ourselves, so we are above board in that regard. So even though I am a host and I am part of the jury, I do not vote for or nominate a game that I worked on. So you see Black Ops 6 in here and Star Wars Outlaws, I have no control over that. So Best Blind / Low Vision Accessibility. We got Periphery Synthetic, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, and Toby Doom Mod 7 and 7.5. If you don't know what that is, Blind Accessible Doom Mod 2024 updates include improved menu narration, area scanner, snap to target system, map announcement system, and Pathfinder to set and navigate between audio beacons. So basically, it just makes Doom, the original Doom, more accessible for blind players. Best Cognitive Accessibility: Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws, Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and Botany Manor. Love that. We got Best Mental Health Accessibility. We got Home Safety Hotline. I love it. So this is accessibility for trauma, phobia, and other mental health conditions. So we got Home Safety Hotline, toggles to hide images related to 7 common phobias. Until Dawn remake has extreme content censoring setting. Life is Strange double exposure, configurable in-game content warning system with the option to pause while warnings display. Alan Wake 2 version 1.15 limits jump scare flashes. Actually, that helps out quite a bit. If you played Alan Wake 2 and you realize and this jump scares were a little too much, turn on if you've downloaded, like, basically it was an earlier update, I think at the beginning of this year. But if you go in there and you can limit the this jump scare flashes, it kind of it just doesn't flash as much. So it kind of limits the jump scare a little bit. So if you don't like that, definitely go turn on that setting. I think it's in the gameplay setting of the menus. I only know that because I just recently just did that because I was playing through Night Springs, the DLC that was released back in June. And then also lastly, Silent Hill 2 remake, content warning with link to mental health resources. Next category, best representation, The Sims 4 with 61 vitiligo patterns for Sims, a Winnie Harlow collab. Hellblade 2 player character has psychosis. Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, well, that's a bit of a very player character has psychosis. So, if you know Hellblade 2, they actually did some studies on on schizophrenia and how that affects a person, and and that's how, like, you can hear voices in your head as a character. So, yes, it's a very basic sort of description, but there's more than just that. So don't worry, this is not like. The folks who wrote this did not sort of like make this a sort of like, she has psychosis, you're fine. It just comes across as like, as reading is like, what? It seems a lot. Anyway, best representation: The Sims 4, Hellblade 2, Rainbow Six Siege, which has a wheelchair user player character via robot drones. Dragon Age of Veilguard, cataracts and vitiligo options in character creator with the sliders for pattern and amount, companions with realistic arm and leg prosthetics through collab with multiple consultants on art and animation, and Just Dance 2025, ADHD theme song, visuals, and choreography. We have Best Journalism, which features articles about game accessibility. We have Why Games Need a Thriving Third-Party Accessibility Scene by Jeffrey Bunting. How Accessible Hardware Bridges the Gap Between Individuals and Options by Grant Stoner. Playing Pokemon by Ear by Stephen Totillo. Xbox at Gamescom by Antonio Martinez. A prominent accessibility advocate worked with studios and inspired change, but she never actually existed by Grant Stoner. This is, and you can have, there are links to all the articles that are in this. So if you want to be able to read them all for Best Journalism, you can be able to take a look at that category there. They don't have a best academic research listed here on the nominees. I wonder if that's something that they're taking out or they're adding in a little bit later. Sometimes academic research essentially is not available to the public, so that could potentially be the reason. I'm not sure why they missed that there, but there usually is a best academic research nominees in here. Best assistive technology. We got this is a new or improved accessibility tech. We have the PlayStation Access controller, Microsoft adaptive joystick button, XAC firmware updates, which is each USB port now supporting 12 buttons instead of 8, a second stick and a hat switch and latched inputs, toggle holds. We have the 8-bit DOE Lite SE for Xbox, which is low-cost, lightweight controller with all controls on the face, with low resistance buttons, highly sensitive joysticks, 2 mini jack ports, and 2 switches included. So I didn't. This wasn't a public episode of Morning Coffee with Steve, but I did go over these back in May when they were announced with from Microsoft. They had the new joystick button, kind of like a Joy-Con. Well, not Joy-Con. What was the other? It was basically like kind of like a nunchuck, like a Wii nunchuck. Microsoft released that. Plus also an 8-bit DOE Lite, so it's a very super, like, it's kind of like a Super Nintendo size Xbox controller. They have that it's super lightweight and has all the controls on the face with low resistance buttons, highly sensitive joysticks, 2 mini jack ports, and 2 switches included. And then there's the BioWave Proteus, completely modular accessibility controller. That's the one that I've shown off before. It's basically a bunch of cubes. Basically, you can kind of like customize and kind of connect together, and kind of like can turn into like very customizable controller. So that's best assistive technology. We got a best accessibility resource, which is a resource for players or resource for developers. Rebellion accessibility test brief, format for a practice assessment for students and aspiring specialists to gain experience in portfolio material. Xbox accessibility workshop toolkit, resources on how to carry out accessibility workshops. Gamescom stand accessibility regulations plus recommendations. Mandatory guidance on how to make booths wheelchair accessible, optional guidance on a range of other booth accessibility consideration. Basically, Gamescom kind of released a guidelines for how to be able to set up accessible booths, and it's become mandatory / recommendations for any person who, like any company that wants to have a booth at Gamescom. The RNIB Dev Kit, which guidelines on making mainstream games blind accessible, and collection of Rebellion accessibility feature usage data across Sniper Elite 5, Zombie Army 4, and Evil Genius 2. Best comm / marketing's efforts to share and promote accessibility, work with the community, and to share and promote in an accessible way. Accessibility Summer Showcase, accessibility previews of upcoming games and guest appearances from disabled players and consultants with captioning ASL, BSL, and audio description. Diablo 4 Community Showcase video, mini documentary on how the UR team partnered with disabled testers. Xbox Area Gamescom, audio description tours in German and English. Wheelchair accessible, adjustable height desks, adaptive controllers, ASL and DGS interpreters, free sensory aid kits, quiet room, here to help staff. And then there's the Ubisoft area, Paris Games Week. There's a lot here, but bear with me. Star Wars accessibility featured on Xbox's main page, sign language demos, accessible main stage, accessibility talks on Star Wars Outlaws, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Just Dance 2025. Rainbow Six Siege showcase, matches between deaf players and content creators, disabled content creator demoing Prince of Persia Lost Crown, Cap Game collab on accessibility of Assassin's Creed Shadows, Escape Room, seating available in queues, accessibility of player stands, including XAC and accessory, Xbox adaptive controller and accessories, and other best practices like no thick carpet and room for large electric wheelchairs with desks, wheelchair accessible by default. And then lastly, in best comm / marketing, Star Wars Outlaws preview rounds, including a wide range of disabled creators across the world. We have most improved progress through patches, mods, or remakes / remasters. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which included high contrast and audio ping match. Spider-Man 2 patch with many updates, including audio description, screen reader, audio haptic, nav assist, mono audio captions, in-world translations, aim target dots, color settings, motion aiming, UI holds, toggle, disable touchpad, and improvements to gameplay, high contrast and toggles. We got Diablo 4, wide range of across multiple patches, including character highlights, auto pin, compass, audio nav assist for blind player, and lots of his improvements to screen reader. There's Star Wars Outlaws, wide range across multiple patches, including adding a large text setting before any menus, configurable adrenaline rush timer, and upgrades to subtitle presentation, auto walk, menu narration breadth, speed, priority, volume granularity, sensitivity granularity, key remapping, inversions, binocular effect intensity, and settings ordering and descriptions. And then we got Toby Doo mod, which we've kind of already covered. So once again, most improved Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Spider-Man 2, Diablo 4, Star Wars Outlaws, and the Toby Doo mod. Greatest accessibility innovation, new steps forward for the industry. Diablo 4, overworld navigation audio cues, first for an ARPG game. Prince of Persia Lost Crown, memory shards featured to pin screenshots to the map. BioWare Proteus, completely modular accessibility controller. Gamescom, stand accessibility regulations and recommendations. And Call of Duty Black Ops 6, asymmetrical hearing compensation. Most dedicated publisher, the publisher making the most significant or most consistent efforts. We got Electronic Arts with Dragon Age Veilguard, Tales of Kenzera Zao, Iris, which is their internal accessibility resource group, updates to The Sims, and Jedi Survivor. PlayStation Studios, Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, Lego Horizon Adventures, Astrobot, Helldivers 2, update for God of War Ragnarok, remakes of Horizon Zero Dawn, and The Last of Us 2. Ubisoft, we got Prince of Persia Lost Crown plus updates, Star Wars Outlaws plus updates, Monopoly, Skull and Bones, X Defiant, Just Dance 2025, Just Dance VR, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Ubisoft Forward, Gamescom, Paris Games Week, Outlaws Creator Engagement. Then we have Xbox Game Studios, Hellblade 2, Doom and Doom 2 remakes, Age of Mythology Retold, updates to Sea of Thieves, Accessibility Workshop Toolkit, Partner Preview, Showcase, Gamescom Area, and Rebellion, Atomfall Day 1 accessibility info, accessibility test brief, extensive usage data sharing. So once again, most data publisher, Electronic Arts, PlayStation Studios, Ubisoft, Xbox Game Studios, and Rebellion. Most dedicated studio, the studio making the most significant or most consistent efforts. Blizzard Team 3, they're the ones who work on Diablo 4. Ubisoft Massive, Star Wars Outlaws and Updates, global disabled creator engagement and preview rounds. Ubisoft Kiev, developing accessibility features for games all across Ubisoft's portfolio. Rare, Sea of Thieves updates, talk about audio aim at GAConf, and Topher on the live service games panel for GAConf US. And Respawn, Star Wars Jedi Survivor updates, willingness to share details. And the MVP award for Unsung Hero, an individual developer without a large public presence, making significant and consistent efforts internally within a company. This can include people working in accessibility roles. We've got Janissary, a descriptive video works, driving force behind the industry's adoption of audio description. Caitlin Jones at Xbox, Superhuman, this is the description here, Superhuman driving many of the Xbox's leading innovations from hardware to international resources. We got Jordan DeVries over at Respawn, lead UI/UX on Star Wars Jedi Survivor, promotes accessibility publicly on social media, and presented Jedi's cognitive accessibility talk at GAConf. Juice Peters at Ubisoft Massive, accessibility linchpin across both Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, and Star Wars Outlaws. And Carrie Waterton at Rebellion, driving accessibility across all of Rebellion's games and initiatives. And then we have the Advocacy Award. This award can be someone either in development role or not, anyone who is an advocate using their voice to make a difference across the video game or the wider industry. We got Matthew Alcock, who's the Wobbly Gamer, partially sighted advocate, consultant, creator, content creator, and streamer working to improve visual accessibility. Antonio Martinez, editor of Game Accessibility Nexus. We got Molly Evans, a little Motac, disabled content creator advocating for more inclusion in games, founder of Nothing Without Us event. Elizabeth Sylvestrin, sorry, it's Aravia. I love Aravia. Disabled, chronically ill accessibility consultant, public speaker, and content creator, developing resources and advocating with national orgs. And Marjin Rongan, who's commonly known as ActiveBit, for the year's worth of working with Can I Play That, as well as contributing to and propping up others like Game Accessibility Nexus, GAConf, and Game Accessibility Guidelines. So once again, the Advocacy Award is for Matthew Alcock, Antonio Martinez, Molly Evans, Elizabeth Selvstrin, aka Aravia, and Marjin Rongan, aka ActiveBit. And that is all of the categories for the GAConf Awards. If you are wanting to be able to watch the awards or see who actually or if you want to vote, you have until December 1st to vote. You'll go to the link in the description, and you can be able to click the vote here, and you can be able to vote for your who you think should win in each category, and the vote will be decided by audience vote and jury vote. But again, you have until December 1st to be able to submit a vote. And then also, if you want to be able to check out the awards, make sure to, we don't have a specific date as of yet, but in January of 2025, we will have the GAConf Awards 2024, where I will host and be able to, and as well as many other great special guests we always like to have on. We've had on some pretty big guests. We've had a lot of folks in the accessibility space for sure, but we've also had in the past, we've had Phil Spencer. We've also had Jim. I think we've had Jim Ryan. Yeah, I think we had Jim Ryan. Either Jim Ryan or Herman Hulst, one of the heads of PlayStation. It's been it's a lot of presenters, but some really great ones. So make sure to tune in sometime in January. And you know what? Actually, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I was going to do some more news stories today, but we kind of went over a lot in this, about 23 minutes worth. So this is the accessibility news story of the day for this episode of Morning Coffee with Steve. It is the GAConf nominees that have been announced. And yeah, definitely go check out the GAConf. If you haven't checked out any of the talks, they have a wide range of talks from across all the GAConfs over the past several years, actually going back for quite a few years. There's a wide breadth of knowledge in just all the talks that they have available on their YouTube channel. You basically look for IGD, or if you basically just go to GAConf.com, you can be able to, that's GAConf.com. You can be able to get access to all the talks there. Make sure to check out a GAConf when it comes to either your area, or you can watch it virtually every year. They do have it available for you to be able to watch. And also, again, make sure to check out the GAConf Awards in January, hosted by me. All right. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. I really appreciate you. And if you have any comments about what you think should be nominated, or what do you think of the nominees, let me know in the comments down below. I'd appreciate it. All right, that's it. Take care. Have yourself a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.